Oh, hello there.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, and you? So nice to meet you. Thank you for taking your time to just share a little bit of yourself with us.
Thank you very much. Very honored
Yeah,
to share my experiences with you guys. Thank you
that's
very much.
nice. So let's straight to the point. Bea, who's Bea Farfán and what do you do?
Yeah, I study graphic design back home in Colombia. I'm Colombian, but I have been living in Europe over 25 years already. Time flies. And I work as a creative and art director for different clients. And I am a traveler as well, so I combine two things when it is possible. Yeah.
So wonderful. And if you could choose like a few words to define yourself, which one would that be?
Uh, wow, definitely a very empathetic person and a traveler. I would say, yeah.
Mhm. Okay, and just connecting with the traveler idea of what defines yourself as a no, it's like a digital nomad. It's called now from the COVID. No, this is like a new concept. I think it's been like forever. People have been like traveling and working
Yeah.
like forever, but now it's like this specific term like digital nomad. But
Yeah.
as a freelance, as a woman, how difficult it is for you to combine both, like being a woman, being a freelance, being a traveler. How do you combine all these concepts?
Okay, I think I have been very lucky, even though I don't like the term luck, because I think the way I work and my success, let's say that, it doesn't depend on luck because I have really worked very hard towards that. But I would say, I think as a woman, mainly speaking, we say like maybe always there has been a little discrimination in the labor market, but I wouldn't put that as a for freelancer, woman freelancer. It has been, generally speaking, I think we all know that it's a bit of discrimination in many sense. But according to my experience, I have been lucky in the sense that I have achieved a strong portfolio of clients that really rely on me. I think one of my strengths, I'm very, people can trust me with the projects, with creativity. So I think I haven't been that affected by being a woman, or as far as I could tell. Maybe because I have this idea that I never go like, oh, but what about if I'm pitching a project against a guy or something like that. I never go with that mentality. So maybe sometimes maybe if we pitch for something, a guy has won, but I have never attributed that because he's a guy. It's because maybe we both had different set of skills. So I think that helped, at least for me and for my motivation to keep forward. And I don't allow that being a woman stop me to apply for things or to pitch for things. No, at all. And then how I combine this, actually, it's funny you said like after COVID, the digital nomad things, is really like booming. But it was an occasion that a friend, we had a party and she was sort of introducing me to a lot of people. And then it was very funny because she said, Bea started to be a digital nomad, but there wasn't a digital nomad term. So I was like, actually, yes. So it was so funny. It's funny because you don't I didn't realize it because to me was so, it's part of my nature, and it's not like, oh, a bunch of people are doing that, so let's do it. No, it wasn't like that in my case. So I started traveling a lot because when I was living in London, I lived in London. And then is one of the things like you make everybody's very busy in London, and like crazy busy, and nobody have, let's say, the same amount of time you have maybe to travel and to take holiday the same time that you could with friends and stuff like that. So actually, I think I started to make the best out of that situation. I was like, do you want to go on holiday? No. Well, like, okay, well, so I'm going by myself because I'm not going to wait for forever for people, friends to go. So I started traveling like this, and then I really enjoyed. I think as a woman, and as a designer, you know, traveling really opens up your mind, and it builds character. Obviously, you are faced to a lot of circumstances, but so far so good in my case. Very small things, like not super bad, some incidents but minor, but the outcome is fantastic. So that's why I kept doing it, and obviously because I'm a creative person, seeing new places, experiencing new things, obviously it helps to you know, my skills as a designer as well.
Absolutely. As a fellow traveler, because I've been like traveling like since I was really little. I totally get your point. It's like how important traveling, right? Just gives you a new perspective in life. And it's like you are a completely different person every time you
Definitely.
just come back home, for all the inputs you just absorb, because it's some kind of an absorbing of life experiences. And you mentioned the obstacles and the hurdles that sometimes you face when you're traveling, because it's a new environment, right? It's a new conditions, but that always helps you to learn something new, and just amplify your capacities and amplify your views in the world, culturally, socially, and even like life experiences. It's so important.
100%.
Right? What pushed you to just leave Colombia? Why did you leave Colombia?
Oh wow, yes, that's a good question. At that time, you know, I actually got my job in advertising before I finished a university. So obviously, you know, always since I was like, I don't know, a teenager, I dreamt about like speaking like proper English, and you know that you sing that, you know, sing these songs and you're like, and you are not saying anything because you can't speak the language. So I think through music, I think it makes me like I really want to speak English properly. So I had this dream going to New York for ages. And then, you know, after high school, I got into university, graphic design, and then I got a job with my favorite teacher. He offered me a job, so I couldn't, you say like no. So I started working right away. I mean, before I finished university. And then at that time in Colombia, it was like a, you know, advertising, and then I got into a very good agency, and then another good one. So the last one that I worked as an art director, and Ford, the cards, and Unilever, they were my accounts. So we were doing a lot of TV spots for Ford, especially, and we were working very closely with production companies from the States. And oh my God, surprised that the meetings were in English. And my English was like, oh my God. So imagine the art director and at the meeting, and I was like, okay. So obviously that actually pushed me to say like, okay, that's it. And it was very perfect timing, because at that time, working at that agency, it was really exhausting. I was living at the agency, like sleeping, like weekends, things like that. So at the first time that I didn't feel in love with my career, because I was completely exhausted. So it was like in my brain was like, okay, this is the first time that I'm not loving what I'm doing, because I'm exhausted. I need the English, and I have the money, so let's go. And I promised my boss at that time that I was going to take a leave for 6 months, and I am still here. I mean,
He's
I don't
still
live.
waiting.
So it's, yeah, I mean, I didn't lie, or yeah, and I didn't know that I was going to be that long here. I mean,
Yeah.
seriously, my intention was like, okay, I'm going to be for 6 months, and then I'm going back, and then just to keep me my life, you know, like as usual. But you know, then when I got to London, you know what is London? Is like, my
Yeah.
God, an explosion of a lot of like steam. I mean, it was amazing. So, and as well, the English that in my head wanted to, you know, to have, it wasn't going to happen in 6 months. So that's why I stayed longer. And yeah, after 26 years, I'm still in Europe.
That's so wonderful. And you mentioned something I think really important, that you just needed a leave. You were like working at work and living at work. So that was work defined your life at that point. How do you think creating a space between what's work, completely different to a space what's life, is for someone who's a freelance, just everything depends absolutely on you. Of course, clients matter. You can't be a freelance if you don't have accounts or clients. But how important it's to compartmentalize life, work, and how do you manage to do that?
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, it's not the podcast I'm going to say, oh yeah, it's perfect. It's not, because I have been in situations where actually I had been a workaholic because of that. Because I was working, you know, you are your own boss and you want to achieve a lot of things, and then you really push and press yourself a lot. And I'm very demanding person as well. So I had to say I had some time like I had really big problem with work, because I couldn't stop. And at that time I was at work. Let's say I was working from home all the time. So like having dinner, just eating while you work and things like that. I had those times as well, until the inevitable was arriving. I had a burnout that actually it made me stop, and then obviously to rethink. I think obviously many people, they are very good at identifying the things and doing something before the big thing happened. But other people, we have to experience something that is hard, and then obviously the clever thing is to learn, observe what happened, and then obviously to try to improve, based on the experience. So I think that was my case. I had a completely burnt out. So I went traveling for 4 months. I disconnected completely. And since that happened, I have been trying successfully. I think obviously there are times that you maybe have to work a little extra, but no, like I was doing it before, because you have to learn from your mistakes, and in order to grow and to have a nice life. So now I think I work from a co-work that definitely separates, my work life and my private life. I don't try. I mean, yeah, maybe once every, I don't know, per year, or that I go to work a Saturday, but it doesn't never happen. So yeah, I think dividing the space, or even if you are at home, just to have a designated desk and to be disciplined to yourself. For instance, one of the good things I did, I had a routine, even though I was working from home at the time. That was, I didn't take like, I didn't take a shower. I were wearing pajamas. I never did that. I always took a shower, always put on clothes, even makeup, because I think it helped me a lot with my attitude towards work. And but my mistake was like not able to stop properly sometimes.
No.
But I think the division, co-work, or going somewhere else, or determine, write it down, okay, I'm working until 5 today, or every day. So it helps a lot to have some discipline to yourself. It's very important.
And also sticking to the script, because it's like you can just, set some goals, set limitations, set a routine. But some people are quite easy jumpers, right? It's just like, okay, no, let's just a bit more. Right? Like stretching the limit, and stretch by stretch, you just get to break it sometimes.
Exactly. So, but little thing that you do every day, you avoid to have a very bad thing in some months. And it's like that. It's just being disciplined to yourself, and it's because you love yourself. Basically, you have to do that to love yourself more, to give time to yourself.
Absolutely. And Bea, you've been like mentioning that you're a freelance. You've always like, since you just decided to just make this kind of working break and just start new, or not new, but in a different way, right? In a different perspective. Compared to working as you started working in a big agency, in different big publicity agencies, big companies, and now working on your own as a freelance, as an entrepreneur on your own, how could you just compare both experiences?
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a very good question. I think actually, Noelia, because I was working, my life was the agency and things like that. I think my sense of freedom get really stronger, and
Mhm.
I think it's because I love my freedom too much. Is the only explanation. Obviously, during the years, I have considered or people like very close friends or people who wants me to, like to us, yeah, who love me, yeah, why don't you apply for a job, or because it's nice to have the monthly salary, and you know how much you are going to get, and the security, and this.
Stability, blah,
Exactly.
blah,
Yeah, I'm
blah.
not saying exactly.
Paid
These are very
holiday. You go on
exactly.
holidays and
It's the
you
holiday, and
that's
it's paid. Yeah, and I understand and obviously deeply respect the people who go on that path. Yeah, good, very good, but I think depends on you. I mean, because then 80 something of the population, they have, I don't know the percentage exactly, have a steady job. It doesn't mean that it's the same script for you. I mean, you don't have to follow what everybody does. I mean, if it doesn't really, if resonates with you, perfect, go and work. And yeah, but I discovered that it's not me. I really love freedom is the only explanation, because yeah, it's nice to have the salary, stuff like that. It's steady, you know how much, but I value much more the experiences and the things I have learned, and the new things I can see outside, and outside of my comfort zone as well, because as well there's a lot of challenges up there, but it's, believe me, is super worth it. So I would say I value my freedom like 100%. So I am still growing professionally, but I'm not sacrificing my freedom. Let's say that. Yeah.
yeah, and it's just like the thrill. I mean, being a freelance, it just implies a thrill, right? It's like the possibility and
It's like
the
this. Yeah.
open doors. Yeah, it's a roller coaster, right? It's like the
Mhm.
open doors is like, I mean, you have an idea, you just go for it. But that also requires and it also implies a big risk. So it's just like, um, no, it's like you have risks, you have disappointments, you have like breakdowns, and how do you manage when something doesn't work out for you?
Well, I think you have to. I think depends on your attitude, because you cannot change some external factors. Yeah, you have to. Okay, they come. Some things are good. Some things are not good, and I think everything depends on how you react towards those things, the circumstances. Okay, someone was really bad to me or something, so I could say like, oh my god, no, no more, I'm going home, I'm just going to get, I don't know, it was, I say like, okay, obviously, yeah, I'm not expecting that life is all beautiful. It's one thing, this is happening for a reason. What can I learn from it? It can be bad, you have maybe the support of your friends. If you're traveling, that is it's some situation that you can feel lonely.
Mhm.
But nowadays, yeah, put a video call and talk to your mom, your sisters, husband, boyfriend, friends, whoever. And I say, makes you feel better. But, before you make a dramatic, say like, I just give up, think, take some days for you, think, and then is how you react towards those bad things that can make a change and can make you stronger.
Yeah, absolutely. No, no, absolutely. And in terms of creativity, you've mentioned how important is
Hmm.
creativity for you.
Hmm.
Um, Coachability Foundation is also based mostly on being creative, right? Out of really difficult circumstances from some of the women that we just want to help, and some of the women that we've talked about, that they are really coming from really deep, difficult lives and situations. Um, how do you think creativity has helped you along
Hmm.
these years?
Wow, I think, I mean, being creative, obviously, to me as a creative director and art director, obviously is essential. Because you have to, obviously, in this decade, obviously, there is a lot of new things coming up, like every second, I don't know. So obviously, you have to be a creative to keep being relevant in your industry. But obviously, so it's implied that obviously in my business, I have to be creative, but as well in your life as a woman and as a traveler as well, you have to apply creativity. It's not only for work, but it's is something that you have to apply in many things. How I'm going to get new clients, how I'm going to make this new thing, how I'm going, or if you're traveling, okay, how can I, you have to be very resourceful as well, and creative in able to save some problems that you are going to be faced with. So I think creativity, I wouldn't restrict it to when I am behind the computer, but I think it's going something that it has to be applied in your daily life, in every task, because and especially you are cooking, so I like photography as well. So when I look at something, I'm like, and something clicks. So maybe, it's a way to have your mind open for creativity to come and really, really, really fill you up. And then I see it like applied to the whole time, not when I am just behind the computer.
So basically, when you get inspiration from everywhere and from everything, no, any kind of experiences.
Yeah, and that's one is important. I think when you are a solo traveler, I think it's super good, because obviously when you are traveling with someone, you are paying attention to that person. But when you are traveling by yourself, obviously you are more aware and your eyes are more open to meet other people, to see things, to really sit down and observe. So it's a different dynamic. It's wonderful to travel with friends, with someone, with your partner, with whoever, but definitely solo traveling is amazing as well, and you grow a lot.
And do you like working alone as an entrepreneurship? Because in our previous conversations, you mentioned some partners, right?
Yeah.
Working partners.
Yeah.
Okay. And now
Yeah.
you are a solo
Yeah.
freelance, a
Yeah.
solo worker. So do you like it? Do you feel comfortable like
I
that?
do. I think, yeah, I had a company with a business partner, and we were maybe together for 3 or 4 years. And then it finished the partnership, and then after that, but I think, I'm not saying like having a partner is a bad thing, because I think it's a lottery. You can have a good one, or a medium one, or a very bad experience. This depends on many, many, many factors. But the thing is, like, so far, when I work alone, I work alone, but I have a team of people that I can ask to collaborate with me in different projects, because I have one profile. So I let people that is an expert in other field to collaborate. And sometimes I think it's great, because you have the control about many things. But I have to say as well, sometimes it feels like lonely as well. It's nice to have a business partner you can discuss things with, and you can discuss, debate, or it's a different dynamic. But I think working as well as a solo entrepreneur is as well is good. But you have to see, like, when you have to ask for help, you have to really acknowledge that sometimes you need help. And that's as well the beauty of it. If you are by yourself and you identify that I need something, you have the capacity to go and ask for help. But if you're going to be alone, closed, and that is not very good, the experience, if you are going to do that just to keep it for yourself, and no one else, I do everything, is not sometimes very good. No.
Yeah, totally agree with you. It's so important, especially nowadays in a global world. You cannot be just hidden in a shell, under a shell. It's collaboration. It's a world of collaborations, and that's the way also to learn and to expand, and to open your mind, and again absorb energy from others and ideas from others. Bea, what's the key to your success? Because in terms, well, maybe let me rephrase the question. Do you feel successful at this point of your life?
Yes. But maybe in a different way, because success, I think, means something for society, and success can be different, another thing
Yeah,
for an individual group or for a person. So I think I have never, maybe, I don't know, I have never been like, oh, really wanted to be a millionaire. It's not my nature. But in a way, like, because I have questioned myself about that, am I successful? But and many people said to me, like, I managed to have a steady, like, a workflow. I get paid well. I'm valued by my clients. I have seen a lot of countries in the world. I have a solid net of friends. So, and I have lovely relationship with my family. So in that sense, and I am a successful person. Because I think, if I'm seeing, because it's inevitable that you compare yourself with someone that has a company with, I don't know, 200 employees, and is driving a whatever car. Obviously, this happens because you are human and you question things. But obviously, success to me is, the freedom I have is like this is novel. I mean, this is priceless. In my opinion, it's priceless to have this freedom. And so I consider myself a successful person. Yes. And obviously, as a person, yeah, I could do better in some things, maybe, yeah, to earn more money in things, or to have properties and there and there and there, yeah. But I definitely, I am very satisfied with my life so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When people just think about success, as you mentioned, they just think about money and
Yeah.
status, right? Social status,
Exactly.
and it's all about quantities. It's all about material things. But in the end, I mean, that's not really what you're just gonna value as a human being, right?
Exactly.
Living
Exactly.
in a society with others. So how important it is to feel satisfied and successful with yourself. I mean,
Yeah.
not in terms of material things and material objects and
Exactly.
material properties.
Exactly. And it's funny because sometimes you don't realize what you are successful. And one example, with my ex business partner once, he was giving a speech in the Mobile Congress here in Barcelona. And then we stayed in touch, not as much as we used to have. And then he went to me like, I really envy you, because the freedom and you travel and you combine your work with traveling. And he has a company that has, I don't know, like 200 employees now. So, and then obviously is what actually someone that successful that you see, oh my God, he's definitely successful because he has money, big companies. And the beauty thing is, like, he gets to do as well what he loves as well, so. And I say, like, but it's funny to hear, like, sometimes you have to, you hear that and you're like, yeah, actually,
I
actually,
am.
yeah.
Sometimes you just need to see yourself through somebody else's eyes, right?
Exactly.
To
Exactly.
realize that maybe, yeah, maybe that's true. Maybe I'm lucky enough, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Is what you decide to value in your life
Yeah,
to make you successful or not.
yeah,
Is
yeah, yeah.
reality is what you decide, because it's a decision for you and you are happy. And there's like, yes, of course there is room for improvement. Of course, I'm not saying like, yeah, now I am like, I consider the queen of the world. And then of course I'm not saying that. It's just like, you have and value what I have,
Well,
and
but you
it
are
makes
the
me
queen.
happy.
But you
Yeah.
are the queen of your world.
Of my world, yes. Yeah.
But that's what matters.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what
Of my
matters.
world, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so last question. If you have to inspire other people to follow suit, to do the same that, I mean, if they want to do like change of heart, do the same, like follow new ideas, new destinations, new projects. What would you say to them?
Well, just, I mean, let's just plan it and go for it. I think if you are going to do a long trip or going to a business, do a little planning, because you are more prepared for that. be aware that maybe you are going to face some challenges, but I think it's completely worth it, because you know, one of my things that make me do things is like knowing me, my personality. I will be one of these people that in, I don't know, at 80 will say like shit, I didn't do that, and I don't want to feel that regret. It's better to try it, fail or not, or you know, try, learn and improve and like this, than say like shit, I didn't do it, and ooh, it's too late now because you are, I don't know, 80, and you are ill, or I don't know. So I think it's better, it really is worth, at least you can tell a story to the people and laugh about it. Oh yeah, when I did that and it was complete disaster. Oh no, you know, but still experiences are the best thing that you can have. And just but a little planning, feel more prepared, count with a net of people that is going to support you emotionally as well, and for sure, you know, with the love and discipline, persistent, you will do it. You will do it, please.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you very much, Bea. Take care.
Okay, Noelia,
Bye
thank you.
bye. Bye
Bye.
there. Bye.